I know that in this moment, whether you're sitting in a quiet room or reading these words from afar, there are hearts weary from carrying unspoken burdens. Perhaps you feel abandoned, as if your cries echo into a silent heaven. The question, how long, Lord, may linger in your soul, heavy and unanswered. I understand that some of you are exhausted from pretending to be strong while your heart aches. These feelings, the loneliness, the doubt, the sorrow are real, and they are allowed to exist. Yet, I invite you to discover a liberating truth. God does not demand a cheerful song when your heart is breaking. In Psalm 13, He hands us a sacred score, a melody that holds space for our deepest laments. This psalm is a gift, a safe harbor, where we can voice our pain without fear. We will not rush past your struggles or offer quick fixes. Instead, we'll walk together, learning to weave your sighs into a prayer, a raw and honest melody before the Lord. Unchanging promise, Psalm 32, Ottis assuresus. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Story of overcoming Sarah. A single mother felt God had forgotten her amid endless bills and sleepless nights. She stumbled upon Psalm 13 and began whispering its words, finding solace in its honesty. Faith step this week. Read Psalm 13 aloud, letting its words name your pain. Having named our pain, let's explore how Psalm 13 transforms our cries into a conversation with God. David, the psalm's author, begins with raw questions. How long will you forget me, Lord, forever? Psalm 13:1. His words are bold, almost accusatory, yet they are not rejected. This is the beauty of Psalm 13. It gives us permission to bring our doubts directly to God. I hear your heart. If you're wondering why heaven seems silent, that question is not a sign of weak faith, but the start of a dialogue. David's lament becomes a bridge to God's presence. By verse 3, he pleads, "Look on me and answer, Lord my God." This shift from despair to prayer shows us that lament is not a dead end but a doorway. God invites us to speak, to pour out our fear, and trust. He listens. Through this honest exchange, a faint note of hope begins to rise. Unchanging promise. Psalm 46, the 1st of December layers. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Story of overcoming John, grieving the loss of his father, found Psalm 13 in a moment of anger at God, reading it daily. He felt his bitterness soften into trust. Faith step. Write a one-sentence prayer today, echoing David's plea for God to look on you and answer. Now, as we've begun to voice our laments, let's anchor ourselves in the unchanging promise of Psalm 13. By verse 5, David proclaims, "But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation." This is the turning point, the moment where despair gives way to trust. God's steadfast love is the bedrock beneath our storms, a melody that holds steady when all else falters. Perhaps you feel adrift, unsure if God sees you. Let this truth be your anchor. His love for you is unwavering. This promise is not a fleeting note, but a foundation. It reminds us that God is not distant but near, weaving our pain into His redemptive symphony. No matter how long the night, His love remains your mose, Neo, your anchor. Unchanging promise. Psalm 13:5. I trust in your unfailing love. Story of overcoming Maria. Battling chronic illness. Clung to Psalm 13:5 during hospital stays. Its promise of God's love became her lifeline. Faith, step, memorize Psalm 13:5 and repeat it when doubt creeps in. With God's promise as our anchor, let's learn how Psalm 13 becomes a melody of healing. David's journey in this psalm from lament to trust offers a path for our wounded hearts. His final words, I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me, Psalm 13:6, are not a denial of pain, but a choice to sing through it. Healing begins when we let God's truth reshape our story. I know some of you carry scars that feel too deep to mend. Yet, Psalm 13 invites you to trust that God is composing something beautiful from your broken notes. This healing is active, not passive. By engaging with the psalm, we allow God to tune our hearts to His grace. Each time we return to its words, we find strength to sing again. Unchanging promise, Psalm 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Story of overcoming Daniel. After a painful divorce, read Psalm 13 nightly. Its words helped him forgive and find peace. Faith Step Journal. One way God has been good to you. Inspired by Psalm 13:6. We've journeyed through Psalm 13 from the raw cries of pain to the bold declaration of trust. This psalm is a symphony, each note essential to the whole. We began in silence, found words for our lament, anchored ourselves in God's promise, and discovered a melody of healing. Now, we stand together, ready to sing a song of unshakable faith. Though life's storms may rage, we proclaim, even if my melody falters, I trust you are my conductor. Even in darkness, you are my song. You are my strength and my psalm. I invite you to rest in God's presence, letting Him harmonize your heart. May His peace, like a gentle coda, settle over you. Prayer, Lord, bless each reader with your peace. Renew their song and guide them to sing your praise. Amen.